I thought that building the app would be the hardest part of starting a business. Turns out it wasn't even close. Over the last few months, I've been trying to build an AI travel app while working full time. Going into this journey, I thought that building the product would be the biggest challenge. Learning how to build software, learning the technology to turn an idea into a product that's useful. What surprised me wasn't the coding, it was everything that came after. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Ali. I'm documenting the reality of building a business while working full time, the highs, the lows, everything, because I want to be fully transparent. I just want to tell you guys exactly what I'm going through and how everything's coming along. Yeah, this is episode 2. Thanks for coming along for the ride. I really appreciate you. Just a quick disclaimer before we start this video. This isn't business advice or financial advice. I'm not an expert. I'm simply sharing my experiences, my mistakes. You can trust me, there's been plenty of mistakes, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more. That's just life, isn't it? Yeah. When I had the first idea for this business, it actually wasn't an app. The original version was an interactive PDF. I thought that I could create something useful, package it, and see if there was a demand for it. Turns out there wasn't really. I mean, people kind of got their stuff figured out in terms of what they're going to pack, depending on where they're going to go. It seems you've got AI models and ChatGPT. That'll just tell you for free. So that was the first iteration. The user experience wasn't great. It wasn't scalable. It didn't really solve the problem in the way I wanted it to. Eventually it came to a point where I had to make a decision whether or not I was going to commit fully or drop it. I ended up just pivoting, changing my idea up a little bit. Chose to pivot to software. At first I was super excited. To be honest, I thought technology had advanced so much that building software would be easy. Every second advertisement online seemed to tell me that. Build an app with AI, no coding required, launch your startup this weekend. The message everywhere was basically the same. If you have an idea, AI can build it. And to some extent that's true. The tools that are available are incredible. But 5 years ago, there's no way I could have attempted this. But what nobody tells you is AI doesn't remove complexity. It just changes where the complexity lives. I decided to use Replit. I'm not sponsored, by the way, but it's just a tool that I use personally to build my software. And it was a familiar tool that I'd used before when I went down the path of trying to build websites. And I was just comfortable because I knew my way around it a bit. And I thought I'd save myself some time sticking with something familiar. But to be honest, looking back at it now, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I started describing my app idea, what I wanted, how I wanted it to be achieved, what the final outcome should be. I explained the user experience, and within minutes, AI had generated something. The problem was that it wasn't really what I wanted. It wasn't actually solving the problem. At first, I blamed the AI. I thought the platform wasn't good enough. I thought I got scammed, to be honest. But I realized something a little uncomfortable. It wasn't the AI at all. It was me. I was the issue. I wasn't being clear enough. I had the vision in my head, and I knew exactly what I wanted it to look like. I hadn't learned how to communicate my vision properly. The AI could not read my mind. It could only work with the information I gave it, and I wasn't giving it enough information. That led to one of the biggest lessons I've learned so far. Clarity matters so much. Most people think execution is everything. Before execution comes clarity. If you can't explain clearly what you're trying to build, you're going to struggle building it yourself, and you're going to struggle even more getting someone or something to build it for you. The AI kept filling in the blanks. The problem was that it was filling them differently to what I had imagined. I ended up having to rebuild the app 3 separate times. Not sections, not features, the entire thing. 3 separate rebuilds. Each time I thought I'd figured it out, and each time there was something new that just wasn't right. And looking back, I don't regret any of it, because every rebuild got me to focus on the product and make it better. Fix problems, fix issues, streamline how things were working. It was a game changer. Every mistake refined the vision, and every setback made the next version stronger. At that point, I genuinely thought that the hard part was over. The features were coming together, the user flow was improving. I could finally see the finish line, or at least I thought I could, because then I discovered something that completely blindsided me. Building the product wasn't really building the business. Building the business was a completely separate challenge. I feel no one really talks about this enough. When people talk about startups online, they usually just talk about product development, new features, they show designs, they show launches. What they don't show is everything behind the scenes. Or at least they don't tell you about it. The legal side, the administrative side, paperwork, the registrations, the compliance, boring stuff, the stuff nobody talks about. I suddenly found myself researching trademarks, business structures, ABNs, domains, terms and conditions, privacy policies, payment processes, app store requirements, affiliate partnerships, business registrations, and about 100 other things I didn't even know existed before starting. Honestly, it felt overwhelming. I remember sitting there thinking, like, how does everyone know this? Did I miss a class somewhere? Was everyone giving out a handbook that I missed? I was genuinely lost. And maybe that's because I was fresh out of high school. Nobody teaches you how to build a company. Nobody teaches you how trademarks work. Nobody teaches you how to protect intellectual property. Nobody teaches you how payment systems connect together. Nobody teaches you how to launch software. Most of this journey has just been simply learning as I go. One Google search at a time, one mistake at a time, one lesson at a time. Looking back now, none of these tasks are really that difficult. Registering a domain isn't difficult. Getting trademarks isn't really that hard. Setting up a business isn't really that difficult either. But when you're by yourself and you have no one to help you, it feels really hard. There's no lying about that. Everything feels risky. Everything feels like you might accidentally make a huge mistake. Everything feels more important than it actually is. The feeling where you're constantly making decisions and you have no idea whether they're the right ones or not. I still feel that sometimes, even now. And if you're going through the same thing, I have been exactly where you are. And I know you can push through, 100%. Every time that I overcome a problem, the next one seems slightly less intimidating. I think that's how confidence is really built, by repeatedly proving to yourself that you can overcome these challenges. The reality is, I still don't exactly know what I'm doing, but I do know more now than I did 6 months ago. And hopefully I'll know twice as much 6 months from now. That's really what I'm aiming for. Progress, not perfection. Right now the app is finally starting to take shape. The trademark has been filled, the foundations are coming together, the vision is becoming clearer, but the next challenge is the biggest one yet, getting real users. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares how hard you worked. Nobody cares how many rebuilds you did. The only thing that matters is that your product actually helps people. And that's what I'm focusing on next. I really appreciate you, and I hope to see you soon. I'll see you later.